Morning, everybody. Morning, Nigerian. Morning, traders. Whatever you are listening to me, this is Solution. And of course, officially welcome you to today's event, which is everyday market review. Normally comes up 8 o'clock in the morning, daily, Monday to Friday. The aim is simple. It's just for us to collectively look at the markets and, of course, give uh, analytic opinion, okay, for education purpose only anyway. Um, this does not serve as financial advice, you need to know. Of course, since it's for education purpose only, we try to look at the market objectively to look at how far it could go, possibly, probably, and of course, not definitively. Anyway, so we'll be looking at the market together, look at quite a range of instruments as they come our way. And of course, if you have anything you want us to look at, which is out of what we look at already, you can just post it in the comment section. And of course, I'll do my best to look at them one by one. Okay, that said, I will be welcoming you all to today's event. By name, if I see your name, I'll just give you a shout out. Okay, so let me see if I can see some people's name. Like Abdul Malik, right? Dadeomi and Akibi, Anthony, Kayode, Chinedu, Anoze, Olalere, Udo, Osas, Ekpemsi, Emamoke, Abugo, Ikeoluwanimi, Ike, that's Adinde, right? Ajuwon. Going to Bala, and of course, Otegbayo. And of course, I can see a name here Monday, which is also today. So your name is Monday and today is Monday. Quite interesting, right? And of course, Mbata, I greet you. Ruremi, Oyeshino, Max Angeline, I greet you as always. And of course, I can also see Epumoluwa, Famoroti, always Famoroti. I like that name, Famoroti, right? Okay, Deleke. And of course, Sunday. And of course, not leaving behind the Uche Chukwu. Those are the names I've seen so far. Okay, so as other names come, of course, I will mention your name if I see them. Mentioning your name is just to tell you that I recognize you, I recognize your presence in my class. Of course, to also welcome you to join me and in looking at the market this morning. And of course, looking at the comment section, I can already see some people saying good morning to me. So I greet you all good morning. Okay. I wish you all you wish me today. Of course, that's the best, right? I wish you all the best. All of you, I wish you the best. Okay, so I'm going to start now by looking at my screen. And of course, the chart I'll be looking at will be as simple as maybe GBP USD. That's one I'll share first. So let me go ahead and just share my screen so that you can look at it. Okay, allow. Of course, we can go to this. So I'm currently looking at GBP USD. And of course, I think I took this trade sometimes in the night this morning. So that's the one you're looking at. But looking at what the price is doing now, there's probability that the price could go up. Of course, there's probability it could go down. But where will it likely go? That remains the question. So objectively, if we look at it in the higher time frame, let me just switch to clean candle and then look at what the daily buy is doing. Okay, so the daily buy is currently bullish, but of course it may end up bearish today. You never can tell. The reason is because you can see that, yeah, the price has, already gone up earlier this morning, but sellers are forcibly pushing it down right now because we can see a lot of shadows on top of that daily buy, which means that the price could go down today. So GBP may just go down today. Of course, it may still go up. It depends on what the price eventually do on a lower time frame, like 1 hour or even 4 hours. But if you look at the 1 hour, based on what it's doing now, we could see some bars that suggest that the price could go down. Let me just put an arrow down to show you this candle, tell you that this price could just go down. So we never can tell what the price could do. But if you want to trade it, or if I must to trade it, I will be waiting for the current candle, which is the 1 hour candle to close, right? Because if it close bearish, I could just go ahead and go in that direction. But of course, if it close otherwise, or maybe it doesn't close to what I would like to do, I just as well continue to look for a way to go with the buyer. So 100% I cannot say the price will go up or go down, but it will go just anywhere. And of course, if you want to trade, you can trade according to your account size. Okay, so that's my opinion objectively on GBP this morning. Now, if you have any questions on this GBP you can just post it. I just do my best to give you an honest opinion on it. But before I look at Euro USD, let me first of all look at the USD index. Now, I like to look at the USD index objectively before I decide what I would do to Euro dollar, because by and large, USD index determine what the price of Euro USD will do. Okay, so if USD index is going up, Euro USD will most likely going down. So they're just inversely proportional to each other. So that means that if the USD index is bullish, Euro USD will be what? Bearish. Now, based on what the daily buy is doing, this USD index looked like something that could just be bullish today, because you can, if you zoom in close, you see that the candles at this particular candle here, which is daily buy, is possibly pushing the price to the upside, which means that Euro USD could just go down. So if I don't want to trade on USD index, I could just go ahead and open up Euro USD. I'll be looking for opportunity to kind of sell based on what the USD index is saying. And of course, you can see that the price already going down. So it is possible that the Euro USD would also be bearish today, just like you see on that GBP USD. You're looking at that bar. But before I will place a sell, because this particular indicator is still telling me that the price may be bullish, I'll be careful. So I only place a sell when I now begin to see candles closing below this line. Can you see this black line? On this 1 hour chart, if I now begin to see candles closing below it, then I will agree that Euro USD will go down. But for now, I will stay off. Okay, I'll just continue to observe what the price will do. So before I will say the Euro USD is on bear territory, I'll be looking for a way to, for this particular candle or candle anyway, that will come after this one, even if it is this one, that will close below the 50 period moving average. That would give me an edge. Okay, that's looking back 50 candles. The average price is now closing below the line, which is the 50 period. Then I can now begin to place a sell on Euro USD. So Euro USD might just be bearish if we see a candle that close below that one. Same thing with GBP USD. Of course, if you now want to trade USD index, now that you know that Euro USD could go down, then you can now begin to look for a way to buy, what do you call it now? Let me just switch back to this one to buy USD index. So that doesn't mean that USD index will go up, right? But if it is what we are looking at, there is possibility for the price to go up. There's possibility for the price to go down. So as of now, it is still on the bear territory. But if you close above this range, okay, if you close above, say, 98.84, then it is possible that this particular instrument will go up. So by and large, there's no particular or definitive direction for this one now, even though the price is 100% pushing, so bullish and going to that direction. So we could just wait for this to close, wait for the candle to close above for US index before you go ahead and buy. If it doesn't close above it, then you can go ahead and place a sell. So there's no definitive direction, and I'm sure that this will also affect instrument like AUD USD, right? Of course, for this one though, because I have this template that I've been working with for a while now, I'm 100% working around the lines that you can see on the screen for AUD USD. So I'll be looking for a way to buy AUD USD when the price gets to around this level. That's when I will agree that the price is 100% on the support region. For now, it has broken this resistance and that gotten back to the support, and it's currently around it. Even though if I was there on Friday or early this morning, I think I would have made about maybe 30 something pips this morning, but I wasn't there, so I just wait for the price to come back to that level, and then I will kind of place it back. So possibility for AUD USD to go down, possibility for Euro USD to go down, possibility for GBP USD to go down, possibility for USD index to go up, depending on what the candle that's currently forming on 1 hour chart does by 9 o'clock. So we'll know. If it doesn't do what we want, then there's possibility for them to continue to go to where they're supposed to go, which is bullish for Euro USD, bullish for GBP USD, and of course bullish for AUD USD. Then USD index can now agree that the price of USD index will continue to go to the downside. But based on what we can see now, if the price of this US index break this level, we go ahead and sell. If it break above the one on top, we go ahead and do what? Go ahead and buy. So we are not sure what the price will go yet for this one, for these two. If you go above, we buy. If you go below, we sell. The same thing with Euro USD. If you go above, we buy. If you go below, we sell. So there's no definitive direction for this one also. Same thing with AUD USD. If we take it back to H1, let's go back to that H1 to this one. Okay, H1. So with AUD USD also, if you go below, we sell. Of course, if you go above, we buy. So we're looking for this break below before we can say we are going to be selling. Of course, we're looking for this close above before we can say we are buying. For now, we are staying off, of course, waiting for opportunities to come our way. Now let's quickly look at USD CAD. Now for USD CAD, because the USD index is still, kind of strong, there's possibility for this one to continue to push to the upside. So if I go ahead now and kind of like look at what I can do here, let me just say this one now, because it's not what it's not like the Euro USD or UPSD counterpart. Let me just say I'm going bullish on this one. That's for me. So if you want to, you can go ahead and do it. But of course, don't forget that there's possibility for this one also to go down. So if you close below this level for USD CAD, I'll be looking to sell. All right. But now that it has close above this level on USD CAD, that's why I'm in that trade. And of course, don't forget that your stop loss and take profit should also be applied appropriately. Don't leave them behind. When you trade with your stop loss and take profit intact, right? Okay, so that's for you to account for your risk, reward as it goes, right? So for USD CAD, I'm kind of like, not 100% bullish and not 100% bearish. If the price eventually close below the area I'm looking at, I can still go ahead and sell. But for now, I'm still on the trade that I can possibly, say we can give me maybe 1-to-1 ratio. Now, for US 100, based on what I'm seeing, there's no definitive direction for this one yet. I don't have a kind of like, let me just open another chart for this one while I retain the current one. US index, which is US 100. So there's no definitive direction for this one yet. So I'm waiting for more information on this one. So I don't have a bias for this one, whether sell or buy. I'm just neutral on this one. For Euro Pound, this one is kind of flat at the moment. You can see that the price appear ranging. So any price that range, I really trade it, right? Anytime price is ranging, I really trade it. So as far as I'm concerned for this one, there's no definitive direction now, except for that breakout. So of course, which eventually return inside. So a break above this range, I will definitely trade. So what you can do is to do what I'm doing now on your chart. Okay, on Euro Pound 1 hour chart. So sorry, let me just take it to okay, this is 15 minutes. So even if it is 15 minutes chart you are looking at, you will see a range. And even if it is 1 hour chart you're looking at, you still see that same range. Okay, so there's kind of like a range now on 1 hour. Let's do it like this on 1 hour. Okay, do it like this on H1, and then you see what I'm seeing. Let me zoom in so that you can see what I'm seeing. So you can see that the candles are in a range of 1 hour, right? So what you can do, even though we have shadows on top and shadows below, so what you can do is to wait for this candle to close, which is around 9 o'clock this morning. So if the price closes above the range painted, right, then you can go ahead and place a buy or place a sell if it close below. Okay, so the price can go anywhere because the price is in a range on Euro Pound. So there's no definitive direction for Euro Pound. Now, don't forget that you can drop a comment for me. Anything you see that is confusing, just write me a question and post it as quickly as you can. Is it already posted a question? And of course, you want me to look at, and the use of currency meter be substituted to using USD index in the analysis for USD-based instrument? Well, yes and no. Now, all you need to know, somebody is asking a question, right? That's a Labor Day. Now, personally, I would like to know the meaning of a Labor Day. So if you can just furnish me with the meaning, I would like to know, because I know it's an African name. It's traditional, based on what I'm saying. So, but for the question you asked, which is 100% valid question, he wants to know, can the currency meter, okay, be substituted to use, instead of USD index analysis for USD based instruments? The answer is yes. There are some people that prefer to use currency meter. I don't like using it. I don't use it, but people use it, right? But I know you can substitute it. So there are some people that use US currency meter. So they need to know the strength, okay, of currencies as compared to each other. For example, they want to know whether USD JPY is stronger than uh is stronger in correlation compared to Euro USD or maybe CAD JPY. Okay, let me just use that JPY for example. They want to know whether USD JPY is stronger than JPY, which is stronger than Euro JPY, kind of JPY like that. So they want to know which one is stronger. They use currency meter, right? And of course, even for USD also, they want to know whether USD CAD is stronger than USD JPY, is stronger than USD CHF, and so on and so forth. So yes, currency meter can be used instead of USD index for that one. But I prefer to use USD index, right? So that's what I would rather kind of tell you that respect. Somebody is asking for my WhatsApp line. I will 100% give you at the end of this class. Somebody want me to look at USDJPY, which is OG, right? I will do that. Of course, Isaac also wants me to look at, which is at June now, JPY. So let's go ahead and open all those ones as we go. Let's start with USDJPY. Now, based on what I can see here, USDJPY appear to be, kind of struggling, with the upside. But remember that even if the price is currently 100% surging to the upside, there are some things that you need to know that is currently, not in favor of JPY going up. First of all, this particular trend line, which is the 21 period, is below the 50 period, all right, which is telling you that this particular price is on the bear territory. But price will continue to move, or will begin to move from bear territory to bull territory, okay, and from bull territory to bear territory. So it is possible that this price would just go up today. Let's look at the D1. Okay, in the D1, we also see that there are some things that may not favor the buyers this morning. For example, on Friday, we had kind of like a bearish engulfing. If it is what we used to know concerning candles, this may just spell a doom for this price. So, which means that the price could go down. But because on the D1 also, the moving average 21 is above the moving average 50, there is still 100% tendency. Let me not use arrow for that. There is still 100% tendency for this price to continue to push to the upside because of what you see here, that there's a wide gap between the two of them now. So there could be retracement. So possibly this price could go down because it could also go. So it's 50-50, there's no definitive direction for this price this morning. But if you want to go with what the daily buy is doing, you can just be playing around buy. Okay. That means you can be looking to buy, or if you want to say, okay, because of the bearish engulfing candle, I want to be careful. Let me just be playing around sell. Yeah, you can still play around sell because this candle you see here can just push this price down further. All right, and that will happen. That will happen at any time. It is even possible that as this price now move and touch this line, as you see here, this line, this 50 period could serve as a very strong resistance for this price, and of course you push the price down. So you could, of course, wait around sell limit at that range. Of course, so that means that this price is not definitely, is not definitely going to go up, and of course, it may not also go down, right? So that's where I see USDJPY. If you want to trade it, you can just play around it now. Maybe buy a little bit of buy, a little bit of sell, and of course, before you know it, you begin to make some money because the price could go anywhere, right? So that's the way I see USDJPY. Now, speaking of AUD USD or AUD JPY, let me quickly go here and use this indicator, moving average cross, and of course, based on what we see here, this price is still on the down territory. The litmus test will now be whether this particular moving average now will now serve as a resistance, or maybe the price will break it and come to the next one, which could also serve as a resistance. So let's see what the price will do. But of course, I know that if you break the first resistance, then it will now come to the second resistance, which means that you can wait until you reach the second resistance before you place a sell. That's what you can do. Or you can just enter a buy and wait until you reach second resistance, and then you close your trade, and then you can enter a sell. So there's no definitive direction for this one also, but of course the price can still push forward and get to that high before it does what it needs to do. So AUD will have potential to push up. And of course, this particular indicator that you see here, this 21 period, will serve as a very strong resistance for the price. And of course, it push the price down. So be careful trading this one. If you want to trade it now, you could, say, okay, because of course, you can just wait and see what the price will print around this resistance. If you print a bearish engulfing, on this current zone, you can place a sell. And if you print a bearish engulfing on this second zone up here, that's this one here. If you print a bearish engulfing, you can place a sell. So wait for those, candle information for you to place a sell. So I think that should be it for you, AUDJPY. You wait until the price prints a bearish engulfing or around bearish engulfing bar around this zone. It's currently on the zone right now, this 21 period moving average, because it could serve as a resistance for it. If you print a bearish engulfing candle around it, place a sell. If you print a bearish engulfing candle around the one on top, okay, this one here, place a sell also. All right, so that's what you should do. So wait for a sell opportunity for AUDJPY. And if you want to jump, once you break this one now, you can just jump in and place a buy until you reach the second resistance. Then you can now be looking to sell. Okay, so the same thing with this one. Also for the USDJPY, if this candle eventually prints a kind of like a bearish engulfing, because it is possible for it to print a bearish engulfing as it is now. It's currently breaking this resistance. Okay, but if you successfully break it and it returns with a bearish engulfing, because it's possible based on what the daily bar printed, there could be a second. There's already a bearish engulfing candle here, so there could be a second or a sequel one that will form around here. If you form, then you can just jump in and place a sell and make some money out of USDJPY. That's it. I'm going to go to GBPJPY because somebody asked that. We'll look at that. Let's look for GBPJPY. GBPJPY, somewhere around here. And then we can also look at GBP CAD, somewhere around here. And we can also look at CAD JPY, somewhere around here. And we can also look at, let's look for this, GBP AUD, somewhere around there. Let's also look at AUD CAD, and also look at Euro JPY. And also look at, there are plenty of things we can look for. USD CHF, and also look at FRA 40, and also look at, we have a lot of things to look at. So most likely, what you want me to look at will also be part of it. Let's look at this one. Cocoa, and also look at wheat, and so on and so forth. So I think we have quite a number of things to look at, interestingly, this morning. Now, let me quickly look at the comment section to see what people want me to look at also. Okay, so people are just mentioning GBPJPY, which makes sense, right? So I already opened it, and of course, we'll look at it as we move on. Let me also see if somebody else wants me to look at something different. Nothing yet. Okay, so let me see. Somebody just dropped a message. Let me just check briefly. Okay, coffee, right? I think I already opened coffee. But if I have not opened coffee, don't worry, I'll look at it. Now, somebody's dropping a message again. US 2000. Okay, so if you get there, then we look at it, right? So let's start with the next batch of instruments to look at this morning. So let's start with New Zealand USD. I think we already look at the AUDJPY. So the next logical one to look at will be maybe Euro JPY, and then we look at New Zealand USD, right? Now with this Euro JPY, I will be looking at a different indicator, okay, that I also use to kind of trade. Based on what I'm seeing here, there's a clear breakout, right? When I say breakout, what I mean is this particular arrow showing that this candle close above this Bollinger Band. Normally, for a mean reversion to happen, when a price closes above Bollinger Band, high, that's the high of the Bollinger Band or upper Bollinger Band, we expect a return, like a retracement back inside of it. But based on what the price is doing now, they appear to be a surge to the upside. So what we can do is to first of all check with this particular breakout strategy to see what's going on. Obviously, unlike the USDJPY and then AUDJPY, this one gives a clear direction that this price could just be on its way to the upside. So what you can do is to wait for a retest. Okay, there's a clear breakout, so you wait for a retest. Now, if the price return and test this zone, then you can, go ahead and, place a buy. Otherwise, you wait because the price can just return and begins to go down. But if you break around and retest it and begins to print like a bearish engulfing candle, then you can be waiting for a sell. And of course, if you are selling, your stop loss should be above your zone of buy. And if you're buying, your stop loss should be below your zone of, buy, right? So, that's it for ADJPY. Now there's a clear break and the price is already currently pushing to the upside. So it's just like this ship has already sailed. So there's no need for me to personally push in and jump in and trade. No, there's no need for that. Let me check this. Okay, so this one has not given me what I want. Okay, this one's have not given me what I wanted. So for ADJPY, for EURJPY rather, I'm waiting for the price to do a retest on this zone, and then I could just jump in. For New Zealand USD, I'm going to treat it the same way I treat USD and GBP USD. So I'll be looking for kind of like a sell opportunity if it happens, right? So even though I've not 100% jumped into that, so I'm looking for a sell opportunity on it. If I see it, I'll trade it. But based on what is happening now, the price is not doing what I expect it to do. So then if I look at daily bar also, it appears that the sellers are 100% exhausted. Why do I say that? We see kind of like, if you see the print of candles on here, you see that there's a red candle, and then there's another red candle there that failed to go below the previous red. Okay, so now there's a bull candle. So it is possible that this one may just be reversing. And if you look at the mean reversion, indicator, which is the one I like to use for that, is Bollinger Band. So what happened here is that we are currently seeing that the price is being held hostage around the lower band. Now, the lower band is not allowing the price to close below the lower band. So that means a breakout to the lower side is not allowed, or it's not being allowed. So it means that the price could just be on its way to the upside. Now, what I could do is to look at the middle band right now, or the 1 hour now, and wait for this price, this current candle to print what I need for me. So if it prints a bullish engulfing candle like you're seeing now, let me use kind of like a clean candle, and then insert a Bollinger Band so that I can see what I want to show you. Let's just go with trend and go with Bollinger Band. So what I'm trying to see here is to see if this price or the bar will print a bullish engulfing candle. If you print it, I'll place a buy. Otherwise, there's already a bearish engulfing candle in play. If you look at the 3 candles that formed, okay, let me zoom it so that, okay, I think it's already zoomed fine now. So you see that I'm going to number some candles to you now, or for you to see. Let me number 0, 1, 2. Let's start with 0. Then we do okay. So this one represents 0 candle because it's the one that's currently forming. Then this one represents 1 candle, which is the previous candle that just closed. Let me just change the name to 1. And then this last one represents the candle that closed before that one. Let me rename it to 2. Now, if you look at candle 2 against candle 1, right? Let me just change to 2, all right? So if you look at candle 2, okay, you see that candle 1 engulfs candle 2, obviously. So it means that the price is expected to go down at that level because currently we are on the downtrend of New Zealand USD. But based on what is currently happening on this candle, because price is a dynamic thing, it doesn't really stay at a particular spot and determine what you want to do. It doesn't wait for you. Currently, what the candle is printing is a bullish candle. It has not closed, so we still have about say 28 minutes for this candle to close. Now we are on 8:32 according to my laptop. So it means that it is possible for this price to still be bearish, right? So if it ends bearish, then it means that this price would go down, then you can start selling. But if it ends bullish and then engulf candle 1, that means if candle 0 engulf candle 1, it means that the price is on its way up. That means you can now place a buy. So as of this moment, you wait for this New Zealand USD just to get your hands ready to trigger either a buy or a sell, depending on what this candle prints for you by 9 o'clock. So let's wait for that to happen. You can just do this kind of print on your laptop and wait for information or more information on candles before you jump in to trade. Now I'm going to go straight to I think I already discussed Euro USD. So let's skip to the next part, which will be GBP JPY. Based on what this candle is doing, let me first of all I wanted to use this white background, but it's fine. Let me use this one to first of all check before I do any other thing. Okay, there's clearly likely to be a breakout. That means JPY might be losing value. Okay, so and of course, based on what I also read, let me just check a website that I normally check in the morning like that. Breaking news, breakingnews.net. Then I can also share the website address with you, and of course, for everybody to see. You can just go to the website anytime, any day, and check and view. Let me just do a new share to share only this one. So you can see that based on Israel confirmed release of hostages, okay, oil rebound from, so we have not looked at oil, we have not looked at crude oil, we still look at it. Okay, so the war is over, the ceasefire will hold. France announced a new government. So now that France has announced a new government, it means that Europe could be strong this morning, right? Europe could be strong, right? Because France is a proponent or a very strong supporter of Euro, right? So those are the things you can also look at to check to see if you want to trade Euro against USD. You can just come to this website and check, right? This is not the only website you can check. There are different ones. Forex Factory is there, investing.com is there. Okay. Just that this one gives like a kind of like a snapshot of what is happening. Even if you go to forexfactory.com, right? There are always Forex Factory, forexfactory.com. It's also a very good website you can look at. Okay, at a glance, you can also see what you have seen on that breakingthenews.com. Trump tariff for China as it still the plan on November 1. I think he wants to do more than 130% on that. So whatever happened to Trump and the news, it's up to him, right? So you can see if you click on news, you see a lot of things you can look at that can help you, in your decision on what to trade this week, next week, and of course, even in the months to come. Okay. Advanced open door to China deal and all that and all that. So you can click on any one to look at, right? But based on what you see on the breaking the news, you can see that that one gives kind of like a better kind of view. So this one have a lot of news that you can look at anyway. So and of course you can also go to investing.com, right? Investing.com. Those are another website you can look at, right? You can also look at this one. They are all good. Okay. So whether it is investing.com, whether it is forexfactory.com, whether it is breakingnews.com, they are all there to give you kind of like a steady view of what is currently going on in the market. So, and of course, if you look at currencies, you will be able to see whether you can buy or sell, like somebody was asking comparatively. You'll be able to see whether euro is actually in the positive side or negative side based on the percentage of change. Okay, so please see that on the snapshot, right? And let's quickly go back to what we're discussing right now. Let me just go there, on share, go back to our discussion. Now back here we see JPY, and we're just looking at it. I just wanted to see what was happening to Japanese yen, was why I went to that place. Okay, but I know that they are about to change their government also. Most likely they will have a kind of like a woman prime minister soon, hopefully. Hopefully we are not there yet. Okay, so that could also determine the fate of Japanese yen. But I know that Japanese yen will be stronger in the long term. All right. I think I was looking at a website where I can't remember where I was seeing the rates, okay, the central bank rates of all the big central banks in the world. And of course, based on the rate I saw, like the last I saw it, Japanese, the BOJ still have the highest of those rates. Okay, so it means that you can see because their rate is higher, their currency is also not doing particularly well in the market. But in the last few weeks, we saw Japanese yen actually keep struggling back to its feet. But happened around Thursday, Friday, and Japanese yen also lost value, right, against most of those instruments, right? So it means that Japanese yen may not be there yet, but it will be there in the future. That's what you see here. So this is the daily bar. And except for euro, except for pound, Japanese yen was actually very strong. But based on what is happening to Japanese yen now, we are not really sure what happened because we saw it in maybe the last 2 weeks. So Japanese yen, being strong, but lost value again, and of course, it's on its spiral down, just like Naira. Just that it's still better than Naira because it's still at 176 against instrument like Euro, or like Naira that is currently on 1,400 against Euro. So by the time you look at it, this where which Japanese yen is now is where Naira was around 2011, 2012, 2010, thereabout. Okay, that's where we were about 15 years ago. But we'll get there one day, all right? So, and of course, they can come back faster because they are at that level where, and they are globally competed. Okay, that currency is so as strong as you can think of it. So, back to what we're discussing on GBP/JPY. My opinion is that Japanese yen may continue to lose value. Of course, you could, trade it with caution and also with some technical, snapshots. You can also use trend line to look at what the price is doing. Just connect like the high of all the candles, even if you are not using an indicator and be waiting for a breakout. So if the current candle can push now and close above this trend line you're looking at, it will just spell a doom for Japanese yen. And of course, it means that GBP will just take the day, and of course, you can just connect to it by, of course, continue to enjoy it. But if you print a bearish engulfing candle around this trend line, then you can now go ahead and click on sell. That means the price could just begin to go down. Now, personally, that's what I would do. If price, I'll be waiting and watching this line. So what you can do is to draw it this kind of line. I'm on 1 hour chart. For clarity's sake, let me zoom in so they can see. And what I did was that I drew a line connecting all the highs of recent 1 hour charts. Okay, I think that's looking back about, let me just see how many candles. From the current candle, I look back about 200 candles, all right, about 200 candles. So looking back 200 candles, I connected the high of all those candles. And of course, the line slope downward. That means it's a regression line, right? It's not ascending, right? So eventually, I'm now waiting for the price to print what you want to print around it. Now, if it prints a bearish engulfing candle around this zone today, then I'll place a sell. But if it prints a bullish engulfing candle around it, I'll place a buy. I think you can just use this one to take advantage of this market, fund your account and wait for this candle, especially this GBP/JPY. All you can do is to fund your account and wait for the opportunity to trade it. All right. So if I were you, that's what I would do. Okay, so for GBP card, I think we can just do something as simple as that also. Let's say we look at a click and do also. And of course, if we do the regression on this one, it's going to already give us an answer. If you look back about 200 candles, okay, from the current one, looking back about 174, thereabouts. Wait, did I say 200 candles that time? Let me check. Sorry, it's not 200 candles. So it's about 69, 68 candles. Okay, forgive me. You don't need to look back 200 candles. Just look back 70 candles, 70, 71 candles, thereabout. I was just looking at the number of pips, not 200, 70, less than 100 candles. If you plot a regression line on less than 100 candles, get your answer. The same thing with GBP card. If you plot your line for about 40 something or 50 something candles, you also get an answer. But this one already gets a confirmation, okay? And of course, we miss that opportunity. Based on what I can see here, this one already gets a confirmation, and it's as simple as ABC. There was a breakout, and of course, there was a retest. So now this price is mostly going to continue to go up. But just wait for the second retest. Okay, based on what I can see here, just wait for the second retest. But I'll personally kind of see if I can just jump in now, and let's see if I can make some money out of this one. Okay, and of course, I'm going to apply my stop loss as appropriate. I might take profit as appropriate, right? That's looking at the trend line and what it does of recent. That's what this one suggests, right? But of course, if the price goes down, right? If you hit this trend line again and print a bearish engulfing candle, because it could just be like a litmus test, it could just do this like an M and begins to go down. Price can do that. Price does that a lot. So if it does that, it means that the price will go down. Print a bearish engulfing candle, then I'll still place a sell. And of course, I will still expect the price to actually go down. For CAD JPY, let's quickly look at it before we begin to wrap up the day. Let's check with this one first. This one is testing a resistance on 50 period EME, right? So it is possible that this price will print a bearish engulfing candle around this. It is possible that it will print a bullish engulfing candle around it. But I will not place a buy right now because the reason is simple. I have not seen a clear breakout above the moving average. So the price is still testing the resistance. So, but if I look at Bollinger Band, yeah, it is still on the middle band, which is the middle of nowhere. And of course, if I check let's see breakout strategy. Yeah, so it is still on the downtrend side, which means that this price could still go down, right? But what I can do is to wait for the price to print what it wants to print around this band. If it prints a bullish engulfing candle around this one, I'll place a buy. If it prints a bearish engulfing candle around it, I'll place a sell. The same thing with here. If the price eventually graduates to this level and it prints a bullish engulfing candle around this level, this moving average you see here, I'll place a buy. That's what I will do. If it prints a bearish engulfing candle around this one, don't forget I'll still sell. Or a bearish engulfing candle around this one, I'll still sell. So what you can do is to have these kind of indicators on your chart to check. Those are indicators serve as a check, for you to know what the price will do at a particular point in time. So you wait for candle confirmation around it. A bearish engulfing candle around them is a sell. A bullish engulfing candle around them is a buy. So for this one, my bias is neutral. It could be 50-50, it could go anywhere, right? The same thing with GBP AUD. Let's really look at what that one is doing with this particular strategy. Now, there was a volatile, probably there was some information on Friday. I never can tell. I have not checked Forex Factory to confirm that, but I know that it's only news or fundamental event that could drive price like this, right? Driving price as much as how many pips? Within 2 hours. Price move about 320 pips in 2 hours. That's a massive move, right? So it could also mean that the price, especially as it is now, giving a strong signal for a buy, right? But on Sunday, unfortunately, which was last night, the price, instead of going to the upside, the price actually did kind of like an inside bar, bullish inside bar. So what this one is printing is that the price has been bearish for a while. The price could just recover and begin to go bullish. So for me to be looking to buy, personally, I'll be looking for a breakout above this level. Okay, that will smell a buy. Then, if it is not going to buy, I'll be looking at what the price will do around here to determine what I will do. So if, for example, now on 4 hours, I see a bearish engulfing candle that prints below these moving averages, I'll be selling, right? But as of now, there is no signal, right? So you can just stay off if you like, or continue to be on the buyer side, because there's a strong potential for this price to actually go up, right? So it is also possible that the price is waiting for a retest. So a retest in this area with a bullish engulfing bar, it would just mean that the price wants to go up. So let's wait for this one. If you want a confirmation, you wait for a retest on this area. Once if it does that, you can just place a buy. Easy peasy. Now let's quickly go to the next one on this list, which is going to be AUD CAD. Now, AUD CAD, I'm going to just use this particular indicator to kind of like check if I should do anything at all, right? So based on what we see here, we see kind of like a hanging information. The price is currently resting. That's where I see it, kind of like resting. So there's no particular direction for this price at the moment because the price is ranging, right? It's just like that euro pound that we checked earlier. The price is just resting, playing around the moving average. But based on what I can see now, there's most likely going to be a bullish engulfing bar around it. If this candle close like this, what I'll be looking to do is to be buying, right? And of course, when I buy, I'll be looking at ending my trade at around here and be waiting for more information. And of course, but if the price, because it's already printed bearish engulfing already, eventually did not close a bullish engulfing, it means that it may just go down. That means I'll be selling as of where it is now. I'll be closing my trade when it gets to this low, right? So it could go anywhere. And of course, I'm waiting for that candle to close before I determine or I decide what I want to do. So what I need to do, what I need for you to do, for those people that are interested in trading, is to just fund your account and wait for opportunity for this one also, right? So let's go to I think I already discussed this one. I think so. Yeah, I already discussed this one. So I'm just waiting for, oh, you can see a rejection on that one now. So like I was saying that time, you people are going to be careful on it. There is a strong rejection now. That means Japanese yen could just be as strong as you can think of. Now let's go to USD CHF finally, before we kind of go to all those cocoa and the rest. So USD CHF print this, and well, based on what we can see now, this is a partial bullish engulfing. It's not a full engulfing. A full engulfing is the one that will have a range engulf the previous bar. Okay, and of course, even the body will also engulf. That's a full engulfing. But this one, just a partial engulfing. And of course, it does not close above that average. So what this one means is that this price may just push to this high and stop. That's all it means for today. If you push to this high and stop, it means that the price will just continue to go down. All right. So, and of course, if you want to confirm that, you can just, plot the trend line on your chart, as simple as trend line. And of course, join the highs and wait for opportunity. So if it doesn't get to the green, or if you get to the green and break it, you can just go to that trend line and begin to fall. So that's the area you should be looking at. That's what you call it, area of interest, right? Those are the areas you can look at. Of course, you can just be, trading around those zones, right? So that's my opinion on this one. I'll be looking to sell because the price appear to be downtrend when the price climb back to a resistance. So I'm waiting for that resistance, either the black one or the trend line, for the price to hit it and give me a reaction. Emphasis on reaction. Reaction in the sense that I want to see a bearish engulfing candle before I can sell. I want to see maybe kind of like an inverted hammer before I can sell. I want to see like maybe a dark cloud cover before I can sell. I want to see kind of like a morning star. Those are the candles you're looking for before you can just say, okay, I'm jumping in for a sell. Otherwise, this price, if break above this region, you can just continue to push forward. Remember, as long as the USD index is strong, dollar will be strong, and means that USD CHF could just go up. So you look at all those factors, so okay, before you decide to trade those ones. Now I'm going to jump straight to indices, this time around FRA 40. Now FRA 40 print this for us based on candles. It appears to be bearish on Friday, right? But as it opened about 2 hours ago, or less than 2 hours ago, or almost 2 hours ago, it opened with a gap to the upside, which means that the gaps could still be covered. Those are possibilities, right? We discussed gap last week. Okay, so you all know what gap means. But based on what I can see now, the gap may not be covered, right? It's not compulsory for the gap to be covered. It may still be covered maybe in the near future, maybe in the next 24 hours. Most gap are covered within 24 hours. That's what I know. But if it doesn't cover it in 24 hours, it means that the price could just be on its way up. But on that way up, we have issues already. There's a resistance around here because there's a resistance around there. So we need to see the resistance in a clear break before you can jump into a buy. Otherwise, if you print a bearish engulfing candle, go ahead and continue to sell because the price is downtrend, obviously. So that's what I see on FRA 40. Jumping straight to cocoa. I'm going to go with what the trend is saying on this one. First of all, I go to D1 and I check. Based on what the trend is saying, this trend is saying that this price is 100% going down, right? It's on a downtrend. So what you can do is to go back to H1 and begin to plot your trap, okay? The first trap will just be, let's first of all, even without any trap, okay? Now, the first trap is this one. I like to use this one a lot. Okay. If I say trap, it means that I'm waiting for the price to this moving average to cross above and then cross below. What I mean by cross above and then cross below is that in this kind of instance, you see here, you see the moving average cross above, even though the price was downtrend, but you will not place a buy because on the higher time frame, the price is downtrend. So you now wait for a cross below. So this is where you place a sell. And this is where you would have placed a sell around that zone. Okay, and then you would have made a lot of money. So that kind of a thing will still happen. This kind of instance, whereby you have a cross above around this zone now. It will still have, it could happen anywhere in the future. So if it happen in the future, you wait for a cross below again, and of course you can just make some money out of that. So let's wait for that one to happen. Otherwise, you can just clear this screen and you look at another possible, scenario, which could be trend line. Now, this trend line appears to be around 45 degrees, right? Or more, which is a very strong bearish trend line. Strong one, strong trend line. Cool. Losing a lot of values, right? I don't know how much it is now. Except maybe when I get to Akure, I can ask how much it is now in the physical market. But as far as CFD is concerned, this price is 100% going down. So if we do kind of like a already we have this. Okay, let's just do this. Okay, let's shift up a little bit to this level. Wow. So based on what I can see here, the price is still doing what it's doing. I'm going to be waiting for this price to break above this lower trend line before I can buy. Okay, because the price can reverse at any point in time. But based on what I can see, it is not likely going to happen. At least not in the theater. Okay, let's do something different. Let's extend this to something like this. Let's do, instead of being trying to do it that way, let me delete this one. Delete. And also delete this one. And then plot a fresh one. That will be unbiased. This one will be a little bit unbiased, right? And then we can work with this one. So if we extend it to a lower value, let me first of all take it back up, then copy it to this level. Let's start with this level. So there's a clear break, right? Then we can now finally go to the third one, which will be this level. So based on what we can see now, it's obvious that this price is likely going to get to this lower trend line. So this bearish trend could continue to this lower trend line. And if we check the number of pips on each, for the lower one, it's about 125 pips. For the second one, it's about 270. So I think the one up is higher, but I think this price will mostly get to this lower low. So if it continues like this on wheat, if you are on cocoa, if you're on cocoa and you're on a sell, you could be on a very huge profit as prices mostly going to continue to go down. But continue to go down does not mean that be seeing bullish candles. Sometimes you see the price going back up and down. So I think what you can do if you're on a sell is to hold on. If you're on a buy, you can just as well close your trade and take your loss and move on. And if you're not on a trade, you can just look for opportunity to sell. Opportunity to sell in the sense that you're looking for example, you can insert some moving averages to this chart, like Bollinger Band, it comes in handy. And then you look for when the price to return to upper band, and then you can click on sell. Because since the price is beginning to clinch to the downside, wait for the price to return to this upper band, and then you sell. Because this one is also dynamic. It's just like your moving average. Okay, you can just use that opportunity to just place a sell on this one. Now, before I wrap up, I'll kind of like wrap up with wheat this morning. I'm going to go straight to Bollinger Band also and check what the price is doing. Based on what I can see here, there is no okay, this gap is covered. There was a gap this morning, and of course the gap is covered already. That's if this market is open at all. Let me look at the comment. A lot of work, drop comments for me to look at. Okay, which MA am I using? 50 and 21. Okay, the destination for this what is the first website you mentioned? The first website I mentioned was breakingthenews.net. Second website I mentioned was forexfactory.com. Of course, the third website I mentioned was investing.com, right? Okay, so some people also said I should look at New Zealand CHF. People went to look at it. Because a lot of people ask me which moving average am I using. I think I already mentioned it. I mentioned it, right? 50 and 21. Now, before I quickly round up, let me see if I can just round up with this wheat. This one does not give me kind of like any direction now, but let's quickly look at breakout. Now, breakout says that the price is still on a downtrend. That's what they say. So as long as the red is below the black, the price is downtrend. That's what this indicator is saying. As long as the red is above the black, it is uptrend for the indicator. As long as the red is below the black, it's downtrend. But let's look at facts on wheat. Fact number one is that we saw a candle here on this 1 hour that splits this chart. Okay, that's a perfect doji. Okay, long-legged, right? And of course, it's doing something 100% reversal. So it means that this price can actually continue to go down, right? If you look at the D1 also, there's tendency for the price to continue to go down. So if you want to trade wheat, the same thing with cocoa, their price in as long as I can see on this chart is currently looking bearish. But if before we begin to jump into conclusion, if you look at what we have here, there's a strong support around here. So it means that we will need to also look at what the price will do around here on 1 hour and on 4 hours. So let's wait for what the price will do. If we see a bullish engulfing or a hammer around this zone, you can just, go ahead and buy. But there's nothing like that yet. So we're waiting for that one to happen. Of course, if it happens, then you can just go ahead and, place a buy. So we're waiting for that one to happen or wait. I want to appreciate all of you that have taken time to, stand by me and wait for me this morning and tolerate my, jokes and all that. I appreciate you all. On behalf of Rally Trade Rally Academy, I'm greeting you and I'm wishing you a profitable week ahead. And of course, if you have not funded your account, go ahead and do that. It is very important to do that so that you can take advantage of the opportunities, that we just analyzed in this market this morning. Closing, I'll be looking at some comments. People are asking for my phone number. It's very simple, 090-2039-8739. Let me see if I can just, send this to everyone, 090-2039-8739. You can just, send me a WhatsApp message now. I will, respond to you. You should have, if you take a comment now, you should have seen my phone number, right? On your screen or on your laptop, on your phone. Okay, so that's my personal phone number. It's my phone number, of course, it's also my WhatsApp number. So you can send any message you want. You want to send a text message, I will see it. You want to send a WhatsApp message, I'll see. You want to place a call, of course, I will answer your call. Now, key takeaway, somebody is asking, Khadija Daro is asking me, key takeaway. The takeaway is that when you trade, you apply psychology also, and of course, your emotion must be impacted. You should know that when you place a trade, go up, it go down against you. Of course, it will just favor you immediately, and it may not favor you immediately. That's why you need to use your stop loss, right? Use your take profit, very important, because it is possible that you place your trade now, your phone goes off. Who can tell? Maybe your battery is down, maybe internet is not there, and of course, but once you put your stop loss and take profit in place, it of course take care of all those scenarios, such that if the price goes in your favor, it should have hit your take profit and keep your money for you. And if it go on the other way around, it should have hit your stop loss and the risk is controlled, and of course your money is still there, right? So my name is Olusegun. For that man that asked me, Kizo is your name. As I thank you very much, everybody. Of course, I'll see you on top. Don't forget that tomorrow is another day. Somebody else will be on hot seat to address all these chats and all that. So take your time and come around tomorrow 8 o'clock. Of course, we'll see us here. Growing strong. And of course, every day 8 o'clock until Friday. I wish you the best, and of course, I wish you the best today. Bye-bye.